At Bassett Healthcare Network, nurses are the heart of patient care. That's why so many nurses choose a career with us, caring for the community every day. Just starting out or with decades of experience? Apply today and discover why last year we were named one of Forbes' best in-state employers. Sign-on bonuses start at $10,000 for eligible nursing positions. Bassett Healthcare Network. Build your legacy where legacies are built. Apply today at bassett.org/careers.
The following is a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of the show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of this station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information hereafter is for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you smaller.
Your Health Matters with Karl Sterling on News Radio 570 WSYR on 106.9 FM and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
I take a couple uppers, I down a couple downers, but nothing compares to these blue and yellow purple pills.
Bring you the latest in health and wellness so you can get to the other things that matter. Here is your host, Karl Sterling.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Your Health Matters, and it's good to have you here, and it's really good to be back. And we're really digging this new 2-hour format. I like that a whole lot because we can have more time to say a few extra things. As you know, this is my name's Karl Sterling. First of all, I run a clinic in Camillus over in the Preventive Medicine Associates building. Hey, and our new sign is out on the thing by the road. It says NeuroMotor Training. That's the name of the business. And, of course, we're a longevity-focused facility, if you will, or clinic, fitness facility, as we look towards all kinds of things, which we're going to talk about today. And I have with me today, you know her, you love her. Her name's Elizabeth Brusa. How's it going?
It's going well. Thank you. How are you?
Great. Feeling really good. Ready to talk about lots of stuff today that, you know, when I pray for the ability to enlighten others as to the value of what it is, let's say, that we offer. Because, I mean, we are here to promote our business. We're also here, though, to promote just wellness, longevity, fitness, mental fitness and health, emotional, physical fitness and health, and to relay these things in a way that is understandable by people. So for those who are listening, and if you've heard me before, yes, I'm going to be repeating myself, but we're going to talk about some cool stuff today. Yeah.
Canadian today,
yeah. Oot in a boot. Okay, so, well, we look at things like health span within your lifespan. Right?
Yes.
Oh, I got a book of the week. It's called Brain Energy. I don't think you've seen this one yet.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I bought it. I loaned it out. Don't know where it is. Don't care. I have it on audio, too. It's by Dr. Chris Palmer, Harvard professor. It's one of my favorite books ever, Brain Energy.
Okay. I'm writing that down myself.
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to get him on the show with us. I've been talking with his team for over a year to get him on the podcast first, and then I got the show. So now this would be more optimal, but he's a tough one, man. He's busy. Podcast of the week. You may have heard of this guy, Rich Roll. So he was an entertainment lawyer, I think based out of L.A. or something, not that that matters, who had a lot of addiction issues and this and that and other things. But he's turned into actually one of the longest time podcasters out there in the health arena, millions of followers, and like he brings in guests that are really heavy hitters. You know, he brings in like the Dr. Gundrys of the world and things like that. Yeah, so nice. If you haven't heard of Rich Roll, go check out Rich Roll's podcast. And of course, check out ours too, karlsterling.net, Karl with a K. That one there that I just mentioned includes all the radio shows I've done so far, and all the podcasts, 200 plus, that I've done in the past 10 years. We've got One more thing to talk about before we dig into our main subject matter. I got this contest going on, Mr. Health and Fitness. It's getting tough, man.
It is getting tough.
Yeah.
You keep flexing there in the movement.
Yeah. So I came in at like 6th or 7th for the quarterfinals. I'm at 3rd, last that I know of, and I've been looking in the dashboard. And I want to say a thank you. I won't say names because I don't want anyone to feel either left out if I forget you or pointed out if I say your name because you don't want anyone to know. But there's been a lot of people, like a dozen or so, they've actually gone in and invested in extra votes. Of course, it's double votes all day today till midnight Eastern time.
So when are you going to give me that $20 for all those votes that I put in?
Oh, as soon as I win.
As soon as you win? All right.
Yeah, but thank you to all who have contributed there because I don't ask for anything. I send out emails, cast your free votes. Yes, you can buy votes. And the reason I want to win this is, I'll tell you why it is. Yeah, I'm going to get $20,000 if I win. $5,000 has to go to and will go to a children's cancer charity, okay? $15,000 is something that I can put towards my business, our business, to upgrade with some really cool equipment that we'd like to get that we don't have. Yep, that'll be really handy. A little bit in my grandchildren's college funds too, right? But there are 7 million readers of this publication. Imagine a spread of 2 pages being published where I can educate about things that most of these muscle and fitness people probably don't think about, but they could learn. So this is why I want to win. So please vote for me. Go to karlsterling.com, Karl with a K. It's on the front page. You can't miss it. Click, cast a free vote, share with others, and thank you so much. Thank you for your votes.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I know you're voting every day.
I am trying.
Let's see. Oh, we're going to get right into a thing here. Okay, number 2 on the list, or number 3, I should say. Elizabeth, I consider our clinic to be, so first of all, it's called NeuroMotor Training. We have been called by others a premier longevity center due to our comprehensive approach to enhancing physical health, cognitive function, and overall well-being through advanced evidence-based training technologies and strategies. So we utilize these various specialized equipment for what we do. I mean, I got to say, I was thinking about it yesterday when I'm in there, and our friend who was in also, our lawyer friend who was in, we were talking about this. There's some like one-of-a-kind stuff we have, and I'm grateful for it.
Yes, we have very one-of-a-kind stuff.
Do you have any favorite things?
Well, the power plate is one of my favorites. The relaxing board is one of my favorites.
Power plate's the number one go-to.
Yes, it is. We have lines for that.
We do. We got the Pro 7. I was calling it the Cadillac. No, this is the Rolls Royce.
Yes.
Of whole body vibration devices.
I've only used that, so yes, it is pretty powerful.
Yeah. You should have seen the one I had before that, though. Right, so it's the one that Emily and I went to get, like $200. And I won't say the name of the company because I don't want to, I mean, it was cool for a minute. Oh, we got grateful to have this Pro 7 power plate. And I'll tell you, man, once you're on that, there's nothing else.
No. And it's amazing people's reaction to it and how when they get off, how they feel. Oh. It's amazing.
It is absolutely amazing. What else do you like? What are your favorite things? So you have the relaxing board. Yes. I love too.
I love to plank on that. It's fun.
It's good. It's great. I don't think I've done that much. I need to get to that. Biodensity. We're going to talk about power plate and biodensity a lot in this hour, but right now I just want to get through a few things that were on my mind. The relaxing board is about a little bigger than 4 feet by 8 feet, and it has 14 different levels of variable perturbation, if you will, like where it wobbles, okay? And once you're on that thing, I mean, that's just, there's nothing like it.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, so if you get proficient at doing an exercise on the floor, It could be, let's say it's just lateral sidestepping, even without doing the cross foot pattern.
Correct.
Or sitting to standing. It's different. It's different on the board.
Yes.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Or doing the bozu.
Or you and Michelle and a couple others who do that. Yeah, that's tough.
Yep.
You got me beat on that. I can do it, but not for the 3 minutes or whatever it is.
Practice, practice, practice.
Hey, Dave. How you doing over there? What's going on today?
I'm good. How are you, Carl?
What time's the first break?
We've roughly got a minute.
Okay.
Roughly got a minute.
All right, cool. So we'll go out in a minute for a break. Let's talk about some other stuff.
Yeah, let's go.
Smart Fit lighting system.
Yes.
Oh, man, that one
fun.
is a game changer. The Synaptic interactive screen. It's a huge screen, and you can touch it and play games. We pair it up with a treadmill or the board.
Right.
Unbelievable. We got the treadmill. It's a rehab treadmill. Goes up and down.
Backwards, forwards.
Backwards and forwards, uphill, downhill. Oh, it's so cool. 8 amps, reactive training lights, and the XMX6 Exo Trainer. So, Elizabeth and I will be back in a couple of minutes. We're going to head out for a break. You're listening to Your Health Matters here on News Radio 570 WSYR, also available on 106.9 FM. My name is Karl Sterling. We're really glad to have you with us. When we come back, we're going to talk extensively about biodensity and how you can build bone density and muscle mass. See you soon. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about neuromotor training for a minute before we start talking about biodensity. The reason we are, it's not my ego. If you know me, that's not an issue. It's not about ego. It's I want the best. I want the best for people. I want the best equipment to get the best results, to create the best quality of life. So we're considered a premier longevity center because of these technologies we have. And we do look and approach things holistically. This is like a holistic body intervention. Okay, movement, memory, cognition, muscle health, bone health, every type of health that we can address as non-medical people. Elizabeth is not a doctor. I am not a doctor. Dr. Barry's a doctor, and he's right upstairs from us, and a huge kudos to him for paving the way and helping us to really accelerate who we help. He sends a lot of people to us. Thank you, Dr. Barry. We are eternally grateful. All right, so when we look at, before we talk about biodensity itself, I just want to kind of address this thing. 2 weeks ago, we had Dr. Lucius Pomerantz on, an orthopedic surgeon and an athlete from San Diego. And he says we really need to start looking at bone density early in life, like 30 years old, even younger. And what do you know about this? Because you were telling me about it a little while ago.
Well, according to what I've learned, you're at your maximum bone density at the age of 25.
Is that for males and females?
Both male and females.
Wow.
So when you have children, you have to get your children moving is basically now.
Well, yeah, that's huge. Oh, if we look, let's move forward and then we'll come back. So we're going to look at risk factors. Okay. Increased fracture risk. I should say, wait a minute. We got to talk about dangers of brittle bones, osteopenia, or especially osteoporosis, increased fracture risk. We all know, if you follow Dr. Peter Attia, you're going to hear that he says, I didn't make this up, he says people who break a hip or a femur, or let's call it your thigh bone, for those who don't know what a femur is, it connects your knee with your hip. So people who break a femur or a hip, age 65 and up, 1 year later, most half of them are probably deceased. Now, I've heard as little as 30% are deceased. And most of the rest, whatever it is, 50%, 60, 70%, are not back to moving as well as they were moving before the fall. That's scary stuff. How many people you know who fell down, broke a hip, went to the hospital, and you never saw them again? Or you go visit in a nursing home. I know. Yeah. All right, chronic pain. These are all risk factors of osteoporosis. Loss of independence, increased fall risk, deformities. Whoa. Deformities. Vertebral fractures can cause a stooped posture. And this isn't just forward. This could be a lateral, like scoliosis type of thing, where you're leaning to the right and forward or backwards. Loss of height, which can affect balance and, of course, appearance. Surgical risks. If you fall down and break something, you have to have surgery. Cardiovascular issues, respiratory problems are a risk factor. Emotional and psychological impact. It could be depression and anxiety, maybe even social isolation, all because of osteoporosis and the complications that it can cause. Also, you have higher mortality rates because hip fractures and other serious fractures in older adults are associated with higher mortality rates, often due to complications like infections, cardiovascular issues, because you're probably not moving as much, and prolonged immobility, where you're not moving as much, and maybe even an economic burden, healthcare costs, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's go back. Well, what can we do? We can take care of ourselves. What is that? Gary Rhodes talks about gymnasts a lot, right? They have like the highest bone density.
Yes.
Do you happen to remember anything he said on that?
They have the highest bone density because of the constant high impact that they have doing all the jumps and flips and landing.
Right. Exactly. I knew that. I just wanted to hear it from you. So
he just wants to make sure I'm listening to him.
Oh, no. Okay, wait a minute. If you come to our clinic, you know she has hearing that's unbelievable. I think she even reads my thoughts now. But that's okay. All right. Well, what can you do about this? You can do resistance training. You can go walking. You can go running. Now, what's going to happen, folks, is you're going to have people, doctors. I'm going to single out, let's say, the medical community. And, of course, I don't mean it in a bad way, but I'm just saying that one of the ladies who came in to see us lately said, and start up this bone density program, oh, my doctor told me just walk a lot, and it'll help my bone density. At least it might not get worse. Well, it's not fake news. I mean, it could help some, because impact forces from the ground, they do help our bones, our tendons, and our muscles. But it's probably not going to do that much. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but we do know that we can do resistance training, full range of motion, free weights, machines, stretch bands, body weight, suspension training like TRX or whatever. But we got the really cool thing.
Yes, we do.
The Rolls Royce of muscle contractions called bioDensity. You've heard about it before, so I don't want anyone to get bored here, but what's happening is I feel I'm probably not relaying the importance of resistance training enough so that you have a full understanding of the consequences of not maintaining sufficient muscle mass and bone density through the lifetime. So let's get into what we can do to intervene, maybe prevent the onset of osteoporosis, build muscle mass. And we have people coming in now every single week. When Joe, if you're listening, we love you. You're a real gentleman, and your lovely wife was visited. Oh,
yes.
And the puppy, too.
And the puppy, too.
Oh, my God, I love that dog. I forget what kind of dog it was, but beautiful. Oh, my gosh. So Joe and his wife came in. Joe works with bioDensity, and he was on his way through, and he stops in, and of course, Lee Hillman, I got to give a shout out. Lee, if you hear this, we love you, too. Joe and Lee are two gentlemen with the highest standards. They are gentlemen. I repeat, they have the higher standards. They have the best products. They have the best equipment. And the two things we have that they're involved with, power plate and bioDensity, are the two most popular things in our clinic. You stand at bioDensity for hours per day.
At least 3 hours at a time.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
It's getting longer.
Yeah. So let's go off script now, because we really don't have a script, just an outline. Why is that? Why are you standing there for 3 hours at a time?
Well, we take each individual at least 3 reps at a time, which takes about 15 minutes to get them positioned, comfortable, get them through the exercise. So I'm doing multiple on the machine. Just they're coming right through and doing multiple, reps, and then they get off, and the next person gets on. It's really quite interesting. I love doing it. Everybody's reaction and timing and everything.
Yeah.
And people are getting stronger. And the average, we have people from the youngest we have doing it right now is 51, and the oldest is 93.
Right.
So there's no excuse.
They both happen to be related to you.
Yes, well,
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I never thought of that.
No, I just happened to think of it too. Well, there's somebody who came in the other day. I can't remember who it was. It doesn't matter. I think she said, well, my physical therapist said he's really iffy about this. Like, this sounds like it could be too good to be true. Oh, I get it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, who's going to be out there telling you in 15 minutes twice a week? Because we do twice a week, folks. I'm just telling you. That's what we do.
Majority of them.
A couple do once a week, maybe 3 people out of like 40 or something, or 50. They're doing twice a week. And how could it be that we're actually seeing results where DEXA scan scores are improving, but we are, and it's how it works. It's how the machine works. We'll get into that after the break, the biomechanics of it. What else are you seeing? Like, I kind of enjoy when people come in and they get on there. They want to, we always want to do our best. And having the feedback in front of you, the visual of the dial.
Yeah.
So we measure force production.
Yes, we measure force production. But the most interesting thing is everybody's competitiveness with themselves. They always want to do better than their last score, no matter what they say. Oh, it doesn't matter what I get as long as I'm doing the exercise. But they get upset if they don't reach their prior.
Yeah, sometimes they say that, but they don't mean it.
Yeah, right. But it's fun. Everybody has a competitive side, at least with themselves. If not with everybody else in the clinic, at least with themselves.
Yeah. And I think it's a good, healthy, competitive type of thing, right? Because it's just against you. Nobody's. I don't know of anyone who's competing to do more than anybody else.
You.
Oh, really? No, wait, okay, here comes my ego. I hold all the records for the highest.
Yes, he does.
So if you beat me, I'm going to congratulate you with a free cup of coffee from Mexico, okay?
Yeah.
Because I got the best Mexican coffee.
You are the highest loading force on the whole biodensity.
May the force be with you.
That's right. God bless you.
Well, you know what, though? Before we go out to the 11:30 break in 54 seconds, I've been running hills. I said it a couple weeks ago. I know you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it again today. I'm 63. In my life, I have never been faster sprinting in any form, especially up this one hill that I've been training on for years and years for the Spartan race I'm doing in Killington, right, in September with my son. I mean, this is up at Killington. This is up like 1.5 miles right out of a gate going up to the steep ski slope. Well, I got to be good, and I have never been faster, and I attribute it to biodensity. It's the only thing I've done different in my training. Okay, so we'll be back to talk about the biomechanics of the biodensity, then the power plate. When we come back, my name is Karl Sterling. I'm with Elizabeth Brusa. This is Your Health Matters on News Radio 570 WSYR, also available on 106.9 FM. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Thank you.
Rose Tamburino.
Okay, here we are again. And so, like I was saying in the beginning of the show, we're a longevity-focused wellness, fitness, training center. And the program we're talking about today has become very popular. In fact, it's so popular, you need an appointment for it now instead of just walking in. The biodensity program. Well, why do you need an appointment? Why is it so popular? Because people are getting results. We're going to talk about results more in a minute. I'm definitely having some problems with my focus today on my notes, so I'm just going to say the heck with it because it's all in my head. You come in, you get on this machine. Let's talk a little bit about the mechanics or the biomechanics too. What's the first thing they're doing?
They're going to sit on the machine with their feet on these certain position. I call them the pegs, which they are. Hands on lap, and I calibrate you. We're actually calibrating out your weight.
Now, do they need to be all workout gear for this, or they can
You can
like
come in your work clothes.
yeah, because you're not going to sweat.
No, you're not going to sweat. Although some women do.
Well,
Some women say, "Oh, I'm getting a little sweaty," but
you know what? It is possible you might break a very slight sweat, but that's quite rare. I'm probably one of the few who does.
no.
No, okay,
There's about 2 or 3 other people that I can think of that actually start getting a little sweaty.
just a
but-
tiny bit though. But this is totally. You do not need to dress up, and you can come in from your office in your suit and tie, take off the jacket, and just go and do it.
I do recommend that you wear flats and not heels.
Oh, totally.
But that's the only recommendation I.
Yeah, and another factor too is because these positions like leg press.
Leg press.
I'm getting ahead of myself, but we'll come back. You probably want to wear like the same shoes or something almost exactly the same each time because of the distance we put you from the plate is the distance where we know you're the strongest and you'll produce the most force. So if you have an extra inch in your soles, it's going to mess with our measurements, and we can work with that. It's not a problem.
Right.
So let's talk about this chest press or the calibration. You calibrate out the weight. Now we got 0.
Now I got 0.
Okay.
So then we go on to the next exercise, which is the first exercise, is the chest press.
Right.
So I put you into the seat position that is best for you, which is a 120 degree angle.
Yeah, about 120 degree for the elbows.
For your elbows to
approximately. Yep.
Yeah. And I tell you to take a deep breath, and then you literally push.
You push
forward
with all your mighty might.
as you're breathing out.
Yeah.
It's important to breathe out because we do not want your blood pressure to spike.
Yeah, and you're really good at cueing people through that, much better than I am. I don't seem to remember that one all the time. So now they're producing this force. We usually start people off on a 5-second hold.
Correct.
Okay. One thing I was glad I found last year is that there are other hold times. And, of course, the new software coming out is going to allow us to go by, I think, second by second, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes, and exercise by exercise.
Yeah.
You don't have to jump right up to...
Even better.
Yeah,
even
better.
better. But right now we have 5 second and 10. There's a couple others, but we only use 10 would be the max. So you'll probably graduate. A lot of people are very quickly into the 10 second because what happens for a lot of people is they find their mojo around 4 or 5 seconds and they're able to dig a little deeper.
Yep, that's what happened with me.
Yeah, it did. And all the numbers go up.
They do.
Where you think you might fatigue out and run out of steam, you actually dig a little deeper and go further with it. You get higher force production. Yes. What were your stats on? You had some statistic about the amount of weight we're supposed to be able to do in this position times our body weight. I mean, how many times?
It's supposed to be 4 times your body weight at this position.
For
maximum.
Maximum of, is it a particular exercise?
All of them, it said.
Okay. So.
Max force. Now I can't find the exact thing on my notes, but I'm sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Basically what happens, though, is you got, I mean, I've seen people come in, and I've even seen some stats on up to 6 to 7 times stronger, respectively. Like, let's say you're doing 100 pounds on a chest press in a regular situation, you know, whether it's seated chest press or Olympic bar with a couple of weights on it or whatever, you're 100 pounds. You're probably going to do at least 400 pounds on our chest press. Isometrically, though.
Correct.
Understand, we put you in a degree of flexion or extension, which is going to allow you to produce the most force. And you're probably going to go at least 4 times.
Well, considering I will tell you my weight on the air. I weigh 127 pounds, and I can do almost 800 pounds, 600 to 800 pounds, depending on the day.
Right.
That tells you right there I can actually do almost 4 to 5.
That is true, yeah. That's your body weight, yeah. So we got 2 different factors here. Okay, we're looking at that in correlation with body weight. How about that compared to with a regular chest press you do? If you're on the seated chest press, what are you doing?
100 pounds.
Yeah. So you're like 7 times more, 8 times more.
Correct.
Yeah. So like, well, let's keep going. Let's go to the next one. So you're in this, well, let's go back. Because I like to illustrate, like if you were sitting really close to anything and you try to push as hard as you can on it and your hands are back by your chest, you can't push as much weight as if your arms are out and you've got 120 degrees, approximately 125, 130, whatever. You're going to produce a lot more force there.
Right.
So that's what this is all about.
I know an example of that.
Yeah.
The old chest press we have, the traditional chest press that we have, they have a thing that help plate that you use your feet now to help push out. Now, if I have my hands up there and I have my 100 pounds, normally I can't really push it out far enough. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because it would hurt your shoulders, or maybe you just can't move.
So I have to push off with my feet on that plate and then put my feet down, and then I'm able to move the bar more.
Yeah, great example. That's perfect. Yeah. Okay, so theoretically, if you can do 700 pounds on the bioDensity on the chest press, we could load that up with 700 pounds on the seated chest press.
Yeah.
You could hold it for 10 seconds maybe.
Maybe.
But the minute you move and you start to come back, I mean, you're done.
Not going to happen.
You might you probably get injured, crushed.
No.
If you're on a regular
thank you.
bench press. Yeah, you don't want to get crushed. So this is like, we don't, no one gets injured on this thing. That's the other thing. This is safe.
Right. It is safe.
I mean, the designers of like the way Joe and Lee have put this thing together, and I don't know who else is involved, but I just know that what this provides is an opportunity to produce maximum force production safely. Oh my gosh. And without sweating and without dressing up in gym clothes.
Correct.
Well, this just sounds too good to be true, but it's not.
It's not.
No, it's not. And I guess who else has happened to you about all these DEXA scans? Dr. Barry.
Yeah.
Of course, there are a couple of the doctors out there who don't believe it, and they say, no, you got to stay on your Fosfomax and go get that Prolia and reclassed. Except some of those situations, I don't dissing them. I mean, it's just not on their radar. So we need to make them, my job is to make them aware of it through Jason Paul, who's trying to help us with that. Okay, so this is not on the radar, so we're going to put it on your radar. Okay, but some of their PAs are like, hey, this is cool.
Yes.
I forget who was that, who came in. We don't want to say their name, but somebody came in and said my PA bought right into it.
Right.
She's like, oh my gosh.
Because there are some in the medical field that just do not want to rely on the meds anymore. Believe it or not.
Yeah, there are a few of them out there.
Yeah.
My son, Dr. Barry.
Yeah.
You know, we love to know about those practitioners, those medical professionals, because, you know, the more of them we get on the same page, it's like this thing with insurance. Before we go to a break in a minute, I got a story about insurance when we come back, something I learned recently about the FDA and the pharma and the money that goes on there and why they say no to things that are actually good for you. Okay, you've all heard it, but now I have a firsthand story about somebody very close to me actually knows personally, who got turned down by the FDA for a device could save your life because, I'm just telling you a story now. They're bought. And there are names on the FDA. There are names of people who you can actually look up and find out who bought them. Pfizer, whoever. You know, sorry, Pfizer. I'm just saying, you know, I know you do a lot to save lives, but you also do other things. So we're here to help you in a holistic way. When we come back, we'll continue with this. And into the second hour, we'll continue with bioDensity and power plate. That's our subject today. You're with Karl Sterling, Elizabeth Brusa. Your Health Matters, WSYR 570. See you in a couple of minutes, folks. Folks, if you would like to learn more or come in and give this bioDensity machine or power plate or anything we have a try at no cost, you're welcome to come in and try it. You just want to schedule an appointment with us. So you just call me. We have one phone number. It's my cell phone. Text me, call me at 315-935-7488, 315-935-7488. You can shoot me a message there, text me, or also go to karlsterling.com, Karl with a K. You can email from there. My phone number's on there as well, in case you missed it just now. So when we're looking at this biodensity machine, I wanted to just kind of tie up talking about the medical world and how some doctors here are starting to realize that this is effective. And speaking of insurance, what I meant to say before we went off for the last break is that remember what Dr. Berry talks about, and this is very, very, very important, folks. Please remember, your health insurance is tied to your illnesses, not your health in most cases. Now, I have heard, I don't know what companies, I don't know what insurance companies, and I can't even remember what people told me, but there are people who come to see me, that they're able to get various forms of reimbursement for certain things, like even a gym membership, right? We do have a membership. It's $30 a month. It doesn't include biodensity. That's separate. But if you buy into the biodensity program at the cost of less than 2 massages per month, I said at the cost of 2 massages per month or less.
Don't look at me.
No, I'm looking at you because I just, I want you to shake your head and agree with me. I mean,
all it is.
Are you going to get 2 massages per month? I'm not saying it's bad. If you like it, go for it. Maybe try coming to see us and try it one time. You might decide you just want to forego something in your life to go down this road and do this for your muscle mass, your bone density, your health, and invest in you with your money, because your insurance probably isn't going to give you money for this right now. We don't have any CPT codes for this right now. I talked about it briefly in text messaging with Joe the other day and Dr. Berry, and we don't have anything for this. We're working on it on our end, Dr. Berry, and we're just trying to see what we can do CPT-wise. But you know what? Sometimes you don't get reimbursed for things in life, folks, and you just can't rely on others to pay for your health. So either you invest a little now, or maybe a hell of a lot more later. Oops, I said a bad word. But it's possible. Look at the cost of negligence, and it's trillions. So not judging, just saying, One other thing. No, I said it. Insurance tied to your illness, not your health. Okay, and then the last thing about this, check with your insurance company, because they're probably not going to tell you what you can get if there's anything you can get reimbursed for. You're going to have to ask, because generally speaking, they don't tell you. You have to ask, be proactive, take a stand. I say it a lot. I'm going to say it again. Declare war on any of your health problems. I declared war on being obese. I declared war on being overweight. I declared war on drinking too much. And I win. And I win. And I win in all 3 cases. And so I implore you to declare war on whatever you're dealing with that you know you can probably help with, and win before it beats you. Okay, let's talk about this exercise. So did we get to the leg press yet?
No, we just did the chest press.
Okay, leg press. Legs go up on the plate.
Legs go up on the plate. This is where I recommend you wear pants. That's the only one I recommend that you wear, But your legs
or
go
shorts that don't reveal.
Yeah,
I'll just say it for you.
Yes, thank you.
Because sometimes we can.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to say anything.
But anyways, you're. I'm sorry. You have your 120-degree angle, and all you do literally is just when I tell you to take a deep breath and push, you breathe out and you push on this plate for 5 to 10 seconds, and you give it all you can, and then you're done.
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times.
We'll give you sufficient time to rest and let your ATP get back into your muscles, just enough to get a decent second and third rep. Sometimes they diminish each time. Sometimes you just dig deep from within with your willpower and you just crush that last rep.
That's right.
Yeah, you never know.
Sometimes you tire out, though.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah. There are a lot of factors in that. Okay, and then we move to the next one.
The core pull,
Mm-hmm.
which is, again, I move the seat to the right position. You put your hands up in the bar. It's a, can't describe the bar really, but it's actually what I call a seated crunch. You're doing a seated crunch. So if I was to lay on the ground and do crunches where you're bringing your shoulders and your legs up, that's what this is. It's the same positioning.
But you're seated, you're vertical.
And it's very important. And the Joe gave me a clue or a advice. It's very important you look at the dial because it doesn't put strain on your neck, for one. And it actually helps you do better, produce more force as you're doing the exercise.
Yeah, that
so you
positional
pull
thing's
down
a big
and
deal.
bring your knees up. And
Yeah, bringing the legs up
That
is so
is
important.
important, too.
He pointed that out, and I hadn't realized how important it is, but, now it makes sense. Thank you, Joe.
Yes, Joe.
Thank you. Seriously, you've helped a lot of people through your visit a couple weeks ago. So helped us to help people get better numbers now, which
Yes.
is going to make for better results.
Correct.
And then you get off BioDensity Airlines
Yes, as I like to call.
because you had a seatbelt on for that one.
That's right. You do have a seatbelt on, so you don't lift yourself off the chair. And then you go in up front of the
You
machine
get your luggage.
and pick up your luggage, as I like to call. It's called a vertical lift, which now the way I word it, it's like picking up a wheelbarrow. The way we position your arms are straight, but your knees are bent. You go down, you load,
Hips back,
Hips
knees
back,
bent.
back
Lean
straight.
into it with your legs.
Yep.
Arms are hooks.
And you lift up with your legs and your glutes. You
Yeah.
do not use your arms or your back. We do not want you to feel any strain in your arms and backs. If you're doing that, then you're doing it wrong. I say this to all the clients. They tell you never to pick up a package without bending your knees or anything on the floor. You should always bend your knees to pick it up. So this is what you have to do with that.
Yeah. It's exactly.
And how much did you do the other day, sir, with the vertical lift?
Oh, like 10 pounds.
10 pounds, though, huh? 650 pounds, folks, he lifted the other day. That's the highest on that. That's a lot of weight. I don't think he could pick up that.
Oh,
If it
no.
was on the
that
floor.
was, not on the floor, but in that position, I felt really strong that day. My leg press was pretty solid and whatever, So we're going to continue. We've only been talking about this for the first hour, and we're going to continue a little bit into the second hour with biodensity, muscle mass, bone density. But we're going to dive into the power plate because there are a lot of things there, man. That really is the go-to machine. So people get off biodensity and they usually go right over to the power plate.
Yes.
Because they're actually meant to be together.
Yes.
They're amazing together. The effects you get from both are amazing. We are a couple minutes left. So how about we talk about consistency?
That is the key to the whole machine.
Yeah.
Doing it at least once a week, twice a week. We recommend 2 to 3 days in between each session. And the ones that are getting the results are the ones that are doing it consistently.
Yeah, now, I'm not exactly 100% sure about this. I did do a little research pretending I was a future client in other cities, moving to that city, and I made some phone calls.
Ooh, sneaky.
And most of them are doing it once a week.
Yes.
And
Well, biodensity themselves only recommends once a week, but we're the only ones that are doing it twice a week.
I think there might be some other places doing it twice a week. However, we're encouraging that, and the reason is, because I think it's better. It's based on the research. We're getting the results. People are getting stronger. They're putting on muscle mass. They're actually not just strengthening muscles; they're strengthening tendons and bones. We'll get a little into exactly how that works scientifically, but we'll keep it really simple and easy to understand because it's all so simple. The more I think about this, the more we do it, the more I read, research, and experiment. Because like every time I do that machine, I feel like it's an experiment on myself. with positioning, like micro positioning of micromanaging my foot position, my hand position, the height of the bar on a pull down, the corporal, the height of the bar on a vertical lift, and micromanaging these things. And we'll get into that, but basically, with all this said, as we end this hour, we want to thank you very much for listening. Continue into the second hour, folks, because we got so much more to say. That it's this twice a week thing is making a huge, huge difference for people who are doing it. And that's like 90% of more than 90% of our folks.
90%. There's only a handful that do it once a week.
Yeah. So, the music is playing. Producer Dave, I really appreciate you helping us. We're only halfway there, though. We got another hour to go. This is so exciting. Elizabeth, thank you.
You're welcome.
So we're going to wrap it up for the first hour. We'll come back and continue, talk about more of what we've been talking about. So thanks for listening, folks. This is Karl Sterling with Elizabeth Brusa on Your Health Matters, News Radio 570 WSYR, also on 106.9 FM. We'll be back right after the noon news break. Biodensity.
The hottest happening right now.
And I hear something now. The importance of using biodensity is paramount. We're good, right? All right, so we're back, folks. Sorry about that. Welcome back to the second hour. Your Health Matters here, News Radio 570 WSYR. My name's Karl Sterling. I'm with my co-host Elizabeth Brusa. How you doing?
I am doing well.
That was a fun first hour, wasn't it?
It was extremely fun.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So we're talking about, we do things, I talk a lot. Yeah, I know. But it's because I want people to know why they're doing what we do, right? Why they come in, they do something. Why are you doing it? I want you to know. Because for me, I need to know why. I don't know if you feel like that too, but I do.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I kind of know, I want to know, why is this thing working? Well, why does the biodensity work? I'm going to start talking, and then I want you to chime in, okay? If you have any thoughts, please. We've talked about it before. We're going to talk about it again. Here's how it works, folks. Any kind of resistance training is going to be better for you than nothing regarding muscle and bone health. Did you know, and I didn't even know this until a few years ago, you could actually have big, strong muscles and weak tendons?
Really?
Yep. But you can strengthen your tendons with certain types of training. There's certain isometric holds like we do on the other equipment we have.
Correct.
If depending upon positionally where you are, you'll get the tendon more than the muscle, which is kind of cool because we want to have, especially going into like our friend, Jim, knee replacement. They were so happy when they cut into his muscles and said, "You got muscles." Oh, my guy Karl had me do all these things. I walk around like a penguin because, with the heels and toes up because we did that because it's one of the many tibialis anterior activations and strengthening exercises we were doing because of tibialis that comes in on the bottom of the front of the knee, right? So quads, hamstrings, calves, medial gastroc, lateral gastroc, all these different things that go into the knee joint. You have a knee replacement. You want to go in with strong muscles and strong tendons. So we can do all this. But the good news is that the isometric contractions on biodensity, they hit it all.
Cool. Including
the type 2 muscle fibers, which is the reason I sprint. I knocked 20 seconds off my, I knocked about 17 seconds off my average sprint time on this one hill.
I need to visit this hill.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome to visit it sometime. Van Buren Park. It's the hill on the, I go, on the Connors Road entrance, right? And then go over to the west side of the pond and start at the bottom. And I start at the top end of the, I don't know what's under there, if it's electricity or not, but it's a cement thing. And right there is my start line. And a ways up the hill is this gigantic tree root that crosses. That's my finish line. I don't know the distance. I just know that last fall, my best time on that was 60 seconds. My worst time this year was 57 seconds, and that's after doing like 4 or 5 trips up. But my average time is 43, 44, 45 seconds. So I attribute this because the isometric contractions are the best way to get to type 2 muscle fibers, which have to do with explosiveness, jumping, sprinting, running up hills. They're also highly correlated with balance, and we've talked about this multiple times. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, folks, but it's really important today. Digging deep, I want you to know the importance of these types of isometric max force loading contractions that happen on the only machine between Utica and Rochester where you can do it, and that would be the bioDensity machine, okay? This is going to help load the muscles, type 1s, type 2s, fast twitch, slow twitch, right? And the tendons, which are hooked into the cartilage, which is hooked into the bone. When you load muscle, you load bone. I'll say it again, like Peter Attia says, the mechanical action of max force production loads the muscles and causes the hormonal chemical reaction of soft bone tissue growth.
And that is called?
You tell me. Starts with a T.
Starts with a T. It's called
Tribecular bone tissue. And, you know, so what is this medicine working on then? Did you say something about hard bone?
Yes, which is called the cortical.
Yeah.
That most medicines, what they do is they neither slow down bone erosion or they facilitate bone growth. And it takes approximately 36 months to show effect on the bone. And we're getting results in 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
For most of the people that have had DEXA scans.
But I got one score in mind from one of our friends who comes in. She's been doing it, I don't know, 7, 8 months, 9 months. A total T-score minus 2.1, which is now a total of minus 1.4, which means she is considered normal bone health. And she is a beast.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. First name starts with an M. And last name starts with a C. And you know who I mean? Yeah. I mean, this lady is incredible anyways, but she's the most consistent, I think, of anybody. She's there twice a week for bio, but usually 3 times if she can make it to just work out.
Yes, she is.
She also hits up that power plate heavy duty with those isos from the Kevlar straps.
Right. She does. And she also does the reaxing board. With
Yeah.
the Bozu.
Yeah. Oh,
Bozu.
it's amazing. I think we'll do, you want a hard 15 stop on this? Okay. We're going to go about another minute almost. What's another T-score before we go out? We had...
Well, let's just run down. A normal T-score is 0 to -1. That's normal bone. Osteopenia is -1 to -2.4. And osteoporosis is -2.5 to anything below that, it says.
I was wrong on this. So the -1.4 isn't quite normal, but it's on the way.
Right.
Okay, yeah. For some reason, I remember numbers well, but I'm not remembering those. But I am looking at the clock, and I can see it's time for a break. So we'll be back, folks, after this short break. By the way, 315-935-7488, or go to karlsterling.com with Karl with a K. Come in and check it out, man. Just call us up, shoot me a message, set up an appointment, get in, check it out. We'll be back shortly. Thank you. All right, here we are again. You got to love it. It's great to be here. Thanks, Elizabeth, for being with me. You know, it's great to have you here.
Thank you. It's fun to be here.
It is fun to be here.
This is pretty cool.
If you had nothing going at 1 o'clock, I'd stay, you know. But I got to do a brake job on my car today.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a kind of a meditative thing. I don't mind doing that. Yeah. Anyways, so I want to talk a little bit about other benefits besides bone density, okay? We haven't even gotten to power plate yet. We will, I promise. Let's talk about when we're looking at, in particular, biodensity. But let's talk about resistance training in general. But biodensity related, okay? We know it's a form of resistance training, biodensity is, that uses high intensity, short duration workouts to improve muscle mass and bone strength. has been studied for its potential benefits in various health aspects, including blood sugar regulation, diabetes management, and lowering A1Cs. Here are key benefits related to these areas. Improved insulin sensitivity. I won't go into details. That's a big deal. Enhanced glucose utilization. During and after resistance training, muscles consume glucose to produce energy. This can help lower blood sugar levels immediately after exercise and improve overall glucose metabolism. Muscle mass increase. Yes, we know we're going to build muscle. We talked about it. Reduction of visceral fat. That's that heart attack fat that's in and around your organs. Lower A1Cs, right? This regular resistance training, including bioDensity workouts, and especially bioDensity workouts, have been associated with lowering A1C levels, indicating better long-term blood sugar control. We also have hormonal benefits, cardiovascular benefits, anti-inflammatory benefits, effects, positive. Improved mental health. Think about this. Regular physical activity, including resistance training, can reduce stress and improve mood. Lower stress levels are associated with better blood sugar control. Oh, my gosh. And they can support better glucose metabolism. And then, of course, it's a safe approach. Now, with that said, can we talk about some of the people at highest risk for, well, you have a thing there about high risk. Let's talk about that. And then we have a friend we're going to bring on.
The people that are at risk for osteoporosis, females, have a higher incident of osteoporosis. Your age has to do with how well your bones are. Of course, we already talked about that at 25 you are at your maximum bone health. Your family history. If you have a history of family having osteoporosis, please tell that to your doctor so you can get a DEXA scan and see if you have osteoporosis. Low BMI, body mass. That's interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because we just talked about how important muscles are.
Yeah.
Or in your body index, which you sometimes say BMI isn't as important because.
Well, I won't go into my thing about it. I think more important is probably body fat and visceral fat. The Rock is considered obese, morbidly obese, because he has too much muscle. But tell me that he's obese. It's not fat, it's muscle. So he's not obese. He's The Rock.
Right.
So his hip to waist ratio and all this other stuff and height to whatever, you can't rely on BMI all the time. It can be relevant, but also can be like completely irrelevant.
Okay, another factor, which is very interesting. This is why you need to talk about your hormone levels with your doctors. Is if you have low estrogen levels before menopause, not perimenopause, but premenopausal, that can cause osteoporosis. Of course, menopause also has to do with osteoporosis. If you have a history of fractures in your body, eating disorders, smoking is a big factor for osteoporosis. Here's another one, alcohol consumption. And I'm not talking just a casual drink here and there. I'm talking about 3 drinks on an average per day. Low dietary calcium intake and a vitamin D insufficiency.
Wow.
All have to do with your risk factors for osteoporosis.
So amazing, like you look at it, like what Dr. Perry Nicholson said a few months ago when he's on the show, or maybe it was a podcast episode before I started the show, but he talks about the body is made up of all these systems, and the body doesn't identify any systems itself. The body just looks at itself. I am a body. Everything I have in me works together, but we identify the systems. But everything works together.
Right.
Everything. Muscle mass. I have about 8 pounds more muscle mass than I did a year ago because I actually lost a little, so I've got to build it back up. And but my body fat's down because more muscle means even while you're sleeping, metabolism happens in muscle, so you're burning more calories while you're sleeping. Folks, I want to jump right over to a friend who I just met, but now he's my friend. He is our friend because he is just, I feel a kindred spirit with this gentleman two ways. He has had some tremendous results in his improving his health, managing his weight, his A1C. Plus, he's a fellow musician, and yeah, I still have that in me. I just don't play the drums anymore, but you know, I really like good music. So, this gentleman he's a walking testament to what it is to actually live what we preach. Get moving, stay moving.
He's an okay guy.
And his name is Darnell Wagner. Darren Wagner. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
we're such good friends.
Okay,
I'm testing you, man. I'm testing you.
No problem.
Darren. Well, I'm so sorry about that. Darren Wagner, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. No complaints at all. I had a great weekend with my brother.
Oh, Dave, producer Dave, you're the man.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Folks, I met him, and I'm like, I can't. This is so cool. You lost 150 pounds.
Yes, sir. I did.
Yes.
Took a lot of work. It had to happen because it got really, really serious, really, really fast.
What happened?
Well, I'm a armed federal guard, and I had a baby, and it just so happened that I had to stay home with my newborn baby, and all I did was just eat and sleep and go to the bathroom like her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're staying home for like that month, that like 5 to 6 months, on top of diabetes runs in my family and me already being overweight, I started to lose the vision and I started to like go blind a little bit and have to go to the bathroom every couple of seconds and just thirsty on top of thirsty and actually made it to the hospital in time to find out that my blood sugar was like at like almost a 900.
Oh,
wow. Yeah, like came close to almost stroking out.
Well, God bless you for taking control. So you actually did, now you probably weren't thinking these words, but I call it like, I'm going to declare war on this.
Yes.
So in your own way, you did that. You're 150 pounds lighter. We got a minute and a half before break. Tell us, your A1C was what, and now it's what?
It when I went to the doctor originally, the beginning of the process, it was an 11.7, and now, through the grace of God and consistency, it's a 5.7.
Consistency, baby. You said it, Elizabeth. You did it. And you do it, too. I mean, this she's a beast. Used to see her go. But you want to talk about force production? This lady can produce force. She's strong. But, wow, man. When we come back, I'd love to just kind of tap into how you went about it.
Most definitely, bro.
I'm sure exercise had to be a part, right?
Exercise was definitely a part. I utilized all of the different, how can I say it? I utilized everything that my doctor told me to utilize. The dietitian, the nutritionist,
good for you.
The gym, just all that. My mom's an anesthesiologist, so she's like all over me.
Okay,
well, I'm the only child.
Okay.
I'm the only boy in the family.
Gotcha.
So it's like,
Yeah. Well, hang on to that thought. We're going to go to the bottom of the hour news break, okay? And then we got Darren Wagner with us. It's so good to meet you, man.
Always
Mi
a pleasure,
hermano
man.
de
Honored,
otra madre,
as
they say in Spanish. That's Spanish for my brother from another mother, because I feel like we're a kindred spirit. We're going to talk more with you when you come back. When we come back,
brother.
We'll be back soon, folks. Thank you.
Tamburino.
Okay, here we are again. So we've been talking about this bone density, muscle mass thing and all that. I want to talk about another product we have. It's the PowerPlate Pro 7. It's the Rolls Royce of whole body vibration devices, and it's our number one go-to for pretty much everyone who comes in, We have people, they walk in the door, even if they're not enrolled in bioDensity program, they go right to the PowerPlate.
Oh, yeah.
That is the first stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they'll stay in there for 10, 15 minutes waiting for it.
Yeah, some people, they got a routine, like a half hour, But look at the results we're getting with, our my god brother,
Your god brother.
My god brother John, if you're listening, I love you, brother. With his, I won't say last name, so PPMS. Correct. What's happening is feeling back in his leg now. They didn't have feeling in for like 20 years. Yeah, so it wakes up nerves. It wakes up, and so let's talk about it. This will help with muscle strength and tone. It'll help with flexibility and range of motion, better balance, better stability. I want to go into that for a minute. What happens? Okay, so you're standing on this thing. We prefer you do it barefoot. Why? Because then there's no barrier between you and the ground. Then you get the full effect of the vibration. You're working up these small nerve endings, mechanoreceptors and sensory receptors that go dormant over the years. They're not dead. They're sleepy. And you wear socks and shoes, and they just, that cushions everything. And the more cushion you have underneath you, the less impact force you're receiving and the less information you're receiving to your brain through your nervous systems. So when we wake up those nerves on the bottom of the feet that have been sleepy, well, we have people get on the power plate for maybe even 3 minutes, and then they get off, and they're actually walking better right away. It might only be 5%, 10% better, but it's better. And that's just the beginning. We also know that people with neuropathy, we have a great deal of success, in some cases just getting rid of it altogether, but in most cases diminishing neuropathy greatly. And what happens is we're waking up the nerves. We're also getting those micro blood vessels in the feet to start moving that blood back to the heart. This is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Besides that, it helps to recover from a workout, or you can work out on it too.
Yes.
By decreasing muscle soreness. It helps with bone density. It can help to accelerate weight loss because it's going to help you to burn more calories while you're using it. This thing helps us to burn calories. And it goes in variable speeds too. Now I got to commend you that you can do 8, the top level.
It's nothing.
And you're half the size of me, and I don't know how you can do it because I go to 3 and I'm done. Maybe I'm just a little bit wimpy.
No, you're not wimpy.
Improves metabolism, right? Enhances metabolic rate, which can contribute to more effective weight management. It also really helps people with stress levels and helping to reduce stress levels. It helps to reduce pain. We have a lot of people who say their pain is reduced, sometimes within like a minute or two of doing it. We use it for posture. We have people put on that pad, so there's a little barrier there because you want to do that if you're laying on your back on this thing. We've had great results in helping to improve posture. We've had great results getting lymphatic drainage accelerated.
Yes.
Big deal.
Yes.
Go back to the March something show or Dr. Perry on this show and realize how important our lymphatic system is. It's the toilets of our body. It's flushing all the crap out. We got to get out. We got to get that stuff out of us because it's toxic. It speeds up recovery time after injuries or intense workouts. And even after surgeries, once your doctor clears you, maybe knee replacement, hip replacement, there are varying opinions on that, doctor to doctor. Bottom line is going to help the healing process. And one more thing, I use it to help get out of COPD. I was never a smoker. I was in smoky bars for decades, and I had COPD and chronic bronchial issues and breathing issues, and I had, what else do you call it, bronchitis.
Right, bronchitis.
All the time. It seemed like 3-4 times a year I got these antibiotics. Oh, my gosh. Well, guess what? You lay on that thing on your front. I used to lay on it about 8 minutes on my front, 8 minutes on the back, and I know it's kind of gross, but it's shaking up all this mucus. We've had doctors come in and lay on this thing because they know that it's going to shake up their mucus, and they spit it out. You know what? This clears out the lungs, making for better lung health.
Yes.
Were you going to say something?
No, we've had a couple clients come in that's laid on it. One just recently, our friend from Skinny Atlas. He was having bronchial issues, and he said he came and laid on it. And
that's right.
He said it did help him.
Yes, it did. Yeah. We're going to see them tomorrow.
Yes.
I love it when they come in.
Me too.
Oh, by the way, our place, besides being a cutting-edge longevity center, we're a community. We have great folks at our place. And Darren, man, if you're ever in town, you want to come and check out some cool stuff, you got to come over, man.
Everything that you guys have said that it helps with. I would love to sit on it. And lay on it. And,
please. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So, Darren, let's get back to you. You had 11 point something A1C. You came to, so you utilized everything that your doctor said. Your mom was an anesthesiologist.
Yes.
She was all over you. Tell us more about this journey. Tell us how you approached it. I mean, what was your vision when you approached this, and then how do you look back at it now, and how you're feeling now?
My vision was I didn't want to have to. I never wanted to. I didn't want to use insulin. I didn't want to have to give myself a shot. I didn't want to have to keep recording my blood sugar. On top of the fact that I've seen how serious it can get so fast, and how bad it can be and how harmful it can be. So I needed to be around longer. So I joined the gym. I went to a nutritionist and a dietitian. I cut like I changed my whole diet. I cut out like anything sugary. I started actually reading everything I started reading the labels of everything that was put into it, and I started to see results. So results get you more motivated to become more disciplined in your goals.
Yeah, amen to that. Because I'll tell you, this is what happens in our place, right? People hit a milestone, or maybe it's an unexpected result. All of a sudden they realize, wait a minute, I had trouble going up the stairs and now I don't. Just one day, all of a sudden they're okay.
Yes.
I mean, this creates that desire for improved results and more consistency, and you get on a mission. It's like you're on a mission, right?
Yep, definitely.
So you obviously you had to be consistent, right?
Very consistent. I just had my 6 months checkup on the 20th, and everything is good. Everything is clear. The eyes are good. The nerves in the feet are good, because I've never been to like a podiatrist or anything like that. Yeah. They do it right. They do the test right in my primary care, but everything is moving, and every once in a while she throws out there, you want to try like a substitute, like an insulin substitute? And I say, nope, I'll stick to my metformin and glipizide, because I'm taking off of all the blood pressure. I'm taking off all the cholesterol stuff. I don't take an aspirin anymore. None of that stuff. It's just 2 meds twice a day.
Man, that's so good. So
that's awesome.
I had my 6 month on the 19th. And it's funny, we were talking to Dr. Cobb out in Cato. Dr. Cobb, you're awesome. Oh, Dr. Rotelli, you're awesome too. Just in case you listen. I love those guys. They're the best. We were talking about when people get, diabetes is so common nowadays, right? And as soon as you're diagnosed with it, you're on like 3 medications, and you got to go see your eye doctor, because they're going to check and see how's your vision. And then the feet thing, right? I mean, all these things are connected. We got to go to a break already. No problem. We're going to come back, but God bless you, man, and congratulations, Darren, for your walking testament. Stay with us, though, because I want to tap your bait a little bit more.
But I appreciate you guys.
You are inspiring me, man. I mean, this is great.
You guys are inspiring me. Like, I'm all into, what is it called?
Longevity?
The BMI?
BMI.
Yep. Well,
I'm gonna Google that as soon as this is over.
Okay, yeah, you do that. This is Karl Sterling, Elizabeth Brusa. We also have our guests here, Darren Wagner. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Thanks for listening. Okay, welcome back. I have 2 short things I want to talk about, because we have sponsors for this show, and I want to acknowledge 2 of them. First of all, number 1 sponsor, in order of just how I have them stacked up here. You've heard about Play On Relief Pain Spray. Well, we have it, and it works really well. There are no chemicals. There's no pharma. There are no drugs. Play On Relief is all organic. I sell a lot of it. Okay, you can get it in my clinic. It's $25. It's going to last you probably a few weeks. I've had a bottle. I think it's 6 weeks into it. and I still have a lot left in it. Well, I don't have a lot of pain, but when I spray this stuff on, and it's like nothing else I've ever experienced before, and that's what our people are saying when they purchase this and they use it. All right, so we have this in my clinic. Now, you can also go to their website, which is, just go to my site, karlsterling.com, Karl with a K. Go up to the radio show sponsors, scroll down, find the Play on Relief thing, and you'll see a discount code to save 15%. Okay? I also want to talk about Dr. Lewis Daily Brain Cure Formula. So I've been using it for over 6 months. What I notice is improved mental clarity, improved focus. My sleep is really good. It's always been good, but I think it's even better. I know this is helping me with certain detox things. I know it's helping me and all the people who buy it. We sell it in capsule format, and we sell it in powder. I like the powder. I mix it with my my smoothie every morning. I have a smoothie for a snack, during the day. There's a lot of other stuff in it too. But really, folks, this is a doctor-formulated concoction backed by decades of research. Dr. John Lewis is not only a friend of mine now, but he is a doctor out there who's well published, and he makes the best stuff. So you want to check it out, you come and see us, or go to karlsterling.com, go to the radio show sponsors, and make sure you go to the Dr. Lewis Daily Brain Care link and check that out, and you can buy it there too. All right. With that said, we're talking about Power Plate. We're talking about muscle mass, bone density, longevity. Power Plate is our number one go-to device in our clinic. People love it. We love it. And what else do you want to talk about with the Power Plate? Do you have any words of wisdom on it?
Words of wisdom for the Power Plate? It's just a great machine.
Yeah.
I've gone on it when I've been in a bad mood, quote unquote. And it actually makes me feel better. I'm not kidding you. Just for a bad mood, I just go in, stand on it.
I remember that.
Okay. Yeah, I could just see him yelling at me. Go stand on the Power Plate.
Get on the Power Plate.
When I can have a time, yeah, sure.
Well, there's a couple more things, right? So you know this Neuro program, which I know is created by the company.
Right.
Or whoever, but it's in the company, it's within the machine. You have to watch the videos, but you have it memorized. So this has helped so many people with just increasing their range of motion, flexibility, a lot of other things.
Yeah, feeling in the legs.
Absolutely. How about
stretch?
Okay, so then we have the Kevlar straps that are on it with the handles where we can go in and do all these different isometric contractions.
Yeah.
It's like, I would say it's like second best to biodensity. It's not that it's less good. It's just you probably won't produce as much force, but it doesn't matter. You have the advantage of vibration during this,
right,
which has a whole different set of advantage. Hey, maybe they should have a vibrating biodensity machine. Joe and Lee, are you listening?
Yeah.
I just thought of something.
Yeah. The chest press vibrating as you're pushing.
Seriously.
That'd be cool.
But anyways, we do, curls, triceps, upright rows, like the suitcase carrier for lats and a whole bunch of other stuff. Plus it has cables. Yes. So we can do full range of motion, medium, low, medium, and high intensities.
Yes.
You could just bring dumbbells on there or kettlebells and do stuff too, or stretch bands.
We should tell him the MMA fighter that was on there that you had. He came on, he came to the clinic, checked it out, stood on there. He's like, yeah, I'm an MMA fighter. What's this going to do? Well, he was sweating by the time he did this.
10 minutes on that.
10 minutes. He was sweating, doing isometric training with
that
the
guy
straps.
is ripped.
Yeah, he is ripped.
Buffed and super fit.
Yeah, but it made him sweat. And
yeah,
it does.
Sure did. It
we
sure
have,
did.
What, a minute each exercise?
About that, yeah.
We can.
And we can modify it to anything. We do what people can, but we want to push them to do more. So we've talked about biodensity. We talked about Power Plate. We could go on all day about this. I just want you to know, folks, that it's very, very important to me. If you have questions, you want to talk, call me up. Text me, 315-935-7488. Go to karlsterling.com, Karl with a K. My number's on there. My email's there. Come in and check it out. You could go get a couple massages a month, or you could maybe take that or some other money and invest in your health, because your insurance company's not going to do it for you. You need to do it. All right, so you know where to reach me. Now I want to get back to Darren Wagner because this gentleman is my new a kindred spirit friend who has inspired me greatly. Congratulations again, brother.
Again, thanks, bro. It's a journey. It's a journey.
What about I just thought of something and then I forgot it. Oh, words of wisdom. Like, you've gone through this now. Mm-hmm. You started, you felt a certain way, you found a vision, you did the work, now you're here. And now you're everything's perfect. Your blood's perfect. Okay.
Everything's good. Yep.
What would you recommend? And I'm curious, did you have any, did you feel despair? Did you feel hopeless? Did you feel helpless? Did you feel that there's no way I can accomplish this, but now that you've done it, what do you recommend to anyone who maybe is in the position where they want to do what you've done? What do you recommend?
Get a notebook, write down everything you put into your body. Learn your body so that you can, once you start applying everything, the doctor says or anything that you look up, because I know there's a lot of natural ways to, your body will take to it and it'll tell you if anything is off, and if things, you should continue those things to keep it going.
So you're journaling.
So learn, yes, definitely journaling. Definitely journaling. Learn your body. Your body will tell you everything you need to know.
I did that once, and I did it for one day. Guess what? That's not enough. That's back when I wasn't really doing so much anyway. So, when's the music going to play? Soon, right?
Soon, very soon.
I want to keep listening to you, Darren. Please take us out. When we hear the music, we got like 30 seconds left.
No problem.
Please.
Listen to your body. Listen to your doctors. Follow through. Find whatever motivation that will help you to be great. And health is wealth.
Oh. That's music to my ears as the music comes on. Seriously, that's beautiful. Bravo. Bravo, man.
Thank you.
Bravo.
This was fun. You guys are awesome. I'm sitting here just cheesing the whole time.
Oh, we got to have you back.
You guys go back and forth, man. Like, I learned something from you guys today.
As someone who knew Darren what he looked like before, when I got him this weekend, I was amazed. Because it's been a while since I've seen the new Darren. And this is amazing.
I'm so happy. Well, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week with more. Elizabeth, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Producer Dave, thank you, sir. Darren, thank you, brother. We got to head out before they start talking over my voice. Thank you, folks. This is Your Health Matters. We'll be back next week, 11 to 1 next week. Thank you so much. Have a great, great week.
The preceding was a paid program by Karl Sterling. The content of this show is that of Karl Sterling and does not represent the views of the station or iHeartMedia. Some of the information contained in this program has not been approved by the FDA, nor is it intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any diseases. Information has been for general information only, and before considering anything discussed, you should contact your doctor or primary care physician.
I've got this neighbor, Ned, who brags about having the best smart home. So I showed him my Ecobee smart home. Turns out, Ecobee's a lot smarter, is easier to use, and saves money. Ecobee's the smartest choice I've ever made.